You're listening to Potty Mouth Radio, the home of movies, music, television, and comedy. This podcast is filmed in front of a live studio audience and contains coarse language. Could it be any more spoilery about a 25-year-old sitcom? Hello everybody and welcome back to the one where we watched a Friends rewatch podcast, where this week we watched The One with the Breastmilk.
Can I just say, that was finally the right amount of gusto.
Oh, that was a good amount of gusto for you. It was not too much, not too little.
Yep, it was good.
That's good.
It was as perfecto as this martini perfecto.
well, I had to make you a martini. Let's get straight into it then. The One with the Breastmilk is the second episode of the second season of Friends. An angel number for you there, folks. And it aired on September 28, 1995.
What the fuck?
Written by Adam Chase, Ira Ungerleider.
Ira!
And it's your turn to do a synopsis.
Oh, fuck.
Are you ready?
Yes.
Go.
Okay, so there's a lot going on this episode. I really love it. Time wasting. Oh my god. So this is the one with the breast milk, where Ross freaks out about trying Carol's breast milk. I'm sure everyone knows the storyline there. Then the B storyline is Joey selling perfume, which I always forget how early this is. Oh, and there's another storyline, Rachel hating on Julie and Monica getting to know Julie and actually liking her. How good was that?
Yeah, that was pretty good. I'm not going to lie. You did that pretty easily.
I am so good at lightning rounds.
That wasn't a lightning round.
It is in my mind.
All right, so we open with the cold open, as we tend to open with.
Good one.
And we're in the apartment. Carol and Susan are over. Everyone's,
Gooing
and garring over baby Ben. Monica has a gift for him.
Yep, she can't resist. She's the fun aunt.
Is that really a portmanteau that we're going with?
I don't know. I've read it. I probably said it wrong. I read it on the internet. People want to be fun aunts now because, and here are the many benefits, you don't have to have kids of your own.
Oh, I mean, that is
you get to spoil
ultimate.
Other people's children without having to wait and do your hard years to be a grandparent.
I mean, it would be great. I grew up with some very fun aunts. I've never heard that portmanteau fant.
I'm probably saying it wrong. I've seen it. Font?
It's worse than funkle, which also isn't great. But I hope I'm a bit of a funkle.
You did not have fun uncles.
I
did. I had one.
And then Ben starts crying, despite the adorable shoes, because he's hungry.
No, it's because Phoebe said, "Oh, look, Ben, just do it," because it's his first little pair of Nikes.
Yeah.
And she put too much pressure on him.
Oh, you think that's what it is?
Well, that's what Phoebe thinks it is, and I love that. Already she's like sensitive and aware that, you shouldn't put too much pressure on kids. I just love her.
So Carol, she's a mum. She's got to do what she's got to do. She starts to breastfeed Ben. Chandler and Joey freak out. I actually really love this moment when Chandler's halfway through telling a joke and then he gets distracted. Something about Snickers.
And they have to head to the kitchen.
Yeah, we're just hanging out by the spoons.
I remember because we were the first in our group to have kids.
Yeah.
And I was really self-conscious to breastfeed around our kids. Not our kids. They were fine with it. Around our friends.
Yeah.
Because your friends are so immature.
Well, no, I really like this cold open because I think it's really true to life. And honestly, I've been both Ross and Joey and Chandler at various points in my life. I think that this is a really great Ross moment where he comes over to them and he's like, you guys just have to get used to it. Like, this is natural. It's just my kid having lunch. Like,
hey, you missed the whole funny line about we're just hanging out here by the spoons. Ladle. It's not the best, but I find it amusing.
I found it really amusing when Ross said, this is the most beautiful natural thing in the world. And Joey comes back with, well, yeah, but there's a kid sucking on it.
Yeah, fucking hell. Jesus.
But, I've I've been Ross, and I've wanted to tell people, like, this is just normal. Like, it just leave it alone.
If you don't grow up around it, though, it is very strange.
That's the thing. It is strange.
Because,
and as a
because
man,
it's not actually strange, but it's strange in our society because we don't live in like a village setting. You can go many, many years without seeing a woman breastfeed, and that's fucked.
Yeah.
And, you know, society hypersexualizes boobs.
Yes.
And it's very much ingrained in you from a young age that there's something sexual. What really makes me laugh, though, is that how fucked our society is that women themselves can also not know what's happening. So I had a student who was, I think at the time this happened, she was 16 or 17. She was old enough. And my boss was breastfeeding. And this student apparently said on the car ride home to her mum, what was happening there?
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And her mum was like, she was breastfeeding.
Wow.
And her daughter was like, what?
That's like some Carrie shit to not know what that is by that age.
That's just like, but isn't that sad?
Yeah.
Like, she obviously doesn't have young cousins, or like her brother is very close in age to her, so she wouldn't remember any of that. Or maybe her mother couldn't breastfeed or whatever. But like, isn't that crazy? You wouldn't know from your own body what it can do.
Yeah.
Like, man, sex ed really screwed the pooch on that one.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So Ross encourages them, you know, if you're nervous or you're scared, just ask questions. But the guys interpret this as, well, we have to ask questions. Yeah. And it becomes one of those awkward things.
Ross says it very loudly as well while taking them back over to the living room. It's all very weird. I don't know. Piss off, Ross. Stop being so patronising.
It's one of those really awkward things, right? Because like I film a bunch of like seminars and webinars these days, and you always get to the Q&A section and no one has anything to ask.
No,
and
because people just want to go home.
Yeah, and there's this awkward like 4 to 5 minutes where they stand there going, come on, anyone, don't be shy. If no one asks questions, I'll just pick someone out of the audience.
What?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
No.
Yeah, no shit.
That is my worst nightmare.
Yeah. And like, but that's what this feels like from Chandler has nothing to ask. He's like, Carol, Joey would like to ask you something about breastfeeding. And they come up with the... like.
No, he says, would it be okay if Joey asked you something about breastfeeding? And she's like,
you know,
yeah.
but they come up with some questions. They ask if it hurts, which a reasonable question.
Yes.
And it's different from woman to woman.
Yep. Fucking agonising is the answer.
Chandler asks, how often can you do it? Which again, I think that's a fairly reasonable question from a man. You know, might not have known.
It's like Jim in The Office when he's like, "Can't you just like?" And he like squeezes his pecs together, and she's like, "Yeah, that's how it works." Idiots. And then Joey asks, if he blows into one, does the other one get bigger? What a fucking dickhead. But it's just, Joey has to be a pig. And there we go. There it is. And then Ross is like, nope, you don't get to ask questions anymore. It's so funny. So I love that after the credits roll, we get Julie again.
Yeah, we're at the coffee shop. Julie's being perfectly nice.
Oh, she's actually being so lovely. She fixes Rachel's apron.
Yes, to which Rachel retorts with, bitch.
Yeah, which is like funny, but also don't be a shit person, Rachel, again.
I don't think Rachel's capable of that.
No. And then, and like Julie was also going up to check which muffins were left for someone.
Yeah.
And, you know, like, because, so was it Phoebe who asked, oh, you know, which muffins are left? And Rachel's like, I don't know. Like, she's not even doing her fucking job.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Rachel.
Okay, but do you think Julie's just doing that thing? Like, do you think this is actually Julie, or do you think this is, you know, like she's the odd one out, she's trying to fit into this group and she's trying to...
So what if it is? So what if it is?
I don't know. I don't like Julie.
I love Julie. I think she deserves better, and I hope she found better with Russ.
Look,
spoiler alert.
I mean, anybody who dates Ross deserves better.
That is true.
I'm not saying that she doesn't deserve better than Ross. Like, Jesus.
But the way, like,
she's not a
Rachel
Hitler.
treats her is just like, oh my God. You can be jealous, but you don't act on it.
Yeah.
Don't be a cow. Anyway, so then Julie, you know, continuing her niceness, says that she has a friend.
Yes, a friend who works at Bloomingdale's.
Yeah, who is getting fired or leaving, and so wants to abuse their staff discount.
Yeah.
Anyone want to come? Phoebe retorts with, no, I have to take my grandmother to the vet.
Yeah, and
Everyone's
there's
like,
no explanation
okay.
of that.
No, I like how the group responds. They're like, just let it go, whatever.
Yeah.
It's just Phoebes. And then Monica says she'll go with her, which is reasonable because Julie is dating her brother.
Her brother, yes. That's exactly what I thought too. When the other guys, I think it's Joey in particular, is like, you can't do that. Like, what about Rachel, you know?
And
Going
then
to Bloomingdale's with her is like cheating on Rachel in her house of worship.
Such a good line.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we get classic, like, you know, old Hollywood Phoebes. She'll kill you like a dog in the street.
But
she's so good at that transatlantic accent.
Yeah,
She's so good at it.
Yeah, but no, I was the same. I was just thinking, well, yeah, it's her brother's girlfriend. Like, okay, sure, Rachel can be pissy all she wants, but
Monica is obligated to get to know this woman better.
Yes,
like
100%.
Like, she's got a close relationship with her brother. Like, if she wants that to continue, if Julie and Ross continue, then she should be friendly.
100%.
And she should someone has to welcome Julie into the group other than Ross, because Rachel's being a mole.
Yeah. And then Ross comes in and Julie, you know, tells him about...
Hi, honey.
About the shopping date.
You're missing the bit. And Chandler answers, hi, sweetums.
And so Ross says to Monica, you know, I hear you're going shopping tomorrow. Thank you. Like, that's great.
And Monica's like, oh, it's no big deal because the group has got her scared now.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, it's a big deal to me. Thank you. And then kisses her on the forehead.
Yeah.
What the fuck, guys? It's fucking weird.
That's why it's a big deal to him.
If my brother kissed me on my forehead...
Into a bit of a menage a trois action.
Ew. If my brother went to kiss me on the forehead, I'd be like, what are you doing? Stop it.
Wait,
and then I'd like probably punch him in the nose. Wow. Took you several seconds to think of that and then interrupt me. Okay.
It wasn't even a good bit.
It wasn't. It really wasn't.
And then Phoebe calls back to the being killed like a dog in the street thing.
Except she's not like transatlantic Phoebes now. She's just kooky Phoebes.
Yeah, she's the guy from Police Academy. She's turned to she's doing Foley
sound
work.
effects. Yeah.
Then we get into a B story from this episode, which I completely forgot was from this episode. And every time I see this, I actually forget this storyline, and then it starts. I'm like, oh yeah, that's pretty funny.
Oh, I remember this storyline so well.
Yeah.
What surprises me is always how early this B storyline is. I remember it being a lot later.
Yeah, so we're at Saks Fifth Avenue, and Joey is doing his job attacking people with perfume. Bijan for men. I hate these guys. They're like window wipers in the middle of the street where like you have to be like, no,
they're not that bad.
Oh,
like,
they're pretty bad.
No, you know what's worse is people who are like in the mall at a stall being like, can I take a moment of your time? No, I'm on the way to work.
You can't say that 50% of our listeners work in those stalls.
Yeah, well, the other 50% are window wipers. How do you feel now?
Oh, no, you got me wasted by my own petard. So, yeah, Joey is attacking people with perfume. I always forget. Ainsley from The West Wing comes up to him.
Yep, she was also in CSI Miami.
Oh, my God. Yeah, she was.
Take it to the lab. I can't believe I ever watched that. My God.
And she asks Joey if he's met the new guy. Nobody knows what his name is. They just call him the
Ombre Man. Because he is selling ombre for men.
Yeah.
And it's the cowboy.
Dressed like a full-on cowboy.
Yep. I got a better look at him. He's not that good looking. That's what I think now every time I see him.
To clear it up for our listeners, that's a quote from Community from the paintball episode.
Yeah, we're really sad people.
Where Joel McHale is jealous of Sawyer from Lost.
Can you have some faith that they have seen Community? Come on.
Well, okay, but there's there's so many layers here though. If they haven't seen Community, if they haven't seen Lost, all right. So let's go back further. Then Lost was a TV show that ran from 2006 about
that Billy fucking loves because he thinks he's like, oh, I get it. I actually get the ending. You know why no one gets the ending? Because they changed tactics halfway through.
No, people don't get the ending because they watched the first season and then they tuned out and they came back at the end and they were oh great, they were dead the whole time. No, they weren't, people. They weren't dead the whole time. It's very clearly explained. Anyway.
I'm not going to have this conversation with you again.
So Joey asks CSI Miami if Ombre knows that this is Joey's section. He says, well, he's about to find out.
Yeah. Yep. I love that Joey's not prepared to take shit from anyone.
Yeah,
And if this new cowboy doesn't know the rules, he'll tell him.
Yeah, so he approaches the cowboy. He says, good morning. He says, look, just so you know, everything from the escalator to the boys section
He says young men.
Kind of my area.
Why is this guy talking like a cowboy? We find out later he can talk normal.
Can talk normal. You make it sound like it's a disability or something.
No, he's like, really?
Yeah, he's doing the
didn't know
Batman
that.
voice.
Yeah,
Oh, well, but it's all part of the shtick, though. Like, I get it. I
He's
get it.
talking to a colleague. Don't be such a loser.
No, I get it. My colleagues have never heard my real voice.
What?
Yeah. I talk like this at work.
What are we gonna do? Anyway, so yeah, he doesn't understand the rules and he also doesn't care once the rules are explained to him.
No, that's right. And he shows he doesn't care.
Yep.
A guy walks by, Joey offers him Bichon for men. Guy says no. The other guy, all he has to do is say, hombre. And he wants some.
And then he gives him 2 sprays. No one needs 2 sprays. If there are any teenagers from the 90s listening, if you are still dousing yourself in Lynx, stop it. Just stop it.
Oh my God, can you imagine if in department stores there were people squirting
Ew.
like demos of Lynx?
Oh, yucky.
The whole place would reek like a 15-year-old boy's locker room.
So gross.
Oh, yucky.
What is Bichon? I know it's obviously French. I know there's a dog called Bichon Frise, and I feel like I don't know. Like I know poisson is fish. I know that chat is cat. Cheval is horse. I know all of this from ballet. What is Bichon?
Is it Bichon or is it Bichon?
Bichon.
Because like the dog is Bichon.
Bichon Frise.
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe there's a J in there. Bichon.
Yeah.
Bichon for men. I'm gonna laugh if it's
Okay, so it's actually Bijan.
Bijan.
Bijan. It's a real cologne, Bijan for men.
Oh.
Yeah, since 1987.
Oh, so maybe it's like old school. What do all the old men wear? It's like a soap as well.
Old Spice.
Old Spice. You know what was
I'm on a horse.
I'm on a horse. I was about to say, you know what's the best advertising in the world? The Old Spice advertising.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Back to Friends.
So then we get a next funny bit in the coffee shop.
Yeah.
Monica runs in. She's like, we were shopping. You and I were shopping all day.
Yeah, to Phoebe, you should
Yep.
clarify.
Oh, yeah, it's obviously not to Rachel.
Because she doesn't want Rachel to know that she went shopping with Julie.
No. And she's like, we went shopping and we had lunch. And Phoebe's like, all right, what did I have? You had a salad. No wonder I don't feel full. That's how I feel every time I have a salad.
Which is funny, though, because wouldn't Phoebe's diet consist of a lot of salads? Or is that just me not being experienced enough in the vegetarian landscape?
Oh, I thought you were going to say not being experienced enough in the vegetable landscape, which is true. You only eat potatoes, honestly. It's not a whole food. Well, they are a whole food in themselves. It's not a whole diet.
Potatoes and carrots, they're the best kinds of vegetables.
I literally said to you tonight, why did you remember to add pork to the shopping list and not any vegetables? I had to go shopping for vegetables. Like, what? What is wrong with you?
Oh, okay. These things happen.
There are lots of vegetarian dishes. Quiches, pasta.
Yeah, okay.
Like... Anything can be vegetarian.
You've made your point, Nudes.
Yeah, okay, all right.
I appreciate your TED talk.
Yeah,
so,
vegetables matter.
So then Rachel comes in. She says hi to Phoebes, and Phoebes immediately says, we went shopping. I had a salad.
Yeah, making it super suspicious.
Yeah, well, it gets even more suspicious because Rachel's like, oh, okay, what did you buy? Very regular question for Rachel. I don't think Rachel's onto anything here. She
not
loves
yet.
shopping. But Phoebe obviously does not love shopping. She can't think of anything. She's like, went shopping for...
fucking hate shopping.
And just repeating the word for over and over again, she just jumped straight to fur. We went shopping for fur.
And then Rachel's like, you went shopping for. And she's like, well, at first. And then I remembered I'm against that. And we went shopping for... And Monica's miming bras. And she goes, boobs. We went shopping for boobs.
Which, look, as a man, I didn't get bra from Monica's mime.
Oh, as if you wouldn't. What covers the breasts? A bra.
Ah, those pesky things.
Yep. And then Monica has to like pull her strap out of her shirt.
Yeah.
Once again, this is a hark back to a future episode, but you need new clothes. It shouldn't stretch that much, Monica.
So then we're back at Saks Fifth Avenue. Joey is still well and truly attacking people with his perfume. And he decides to ask out
Ainsley.
Miami Vice because why wouldn't you? She's absolutely adorable. But she's already got plans.
I love how we always just call her Ainsley.
Yeah.
I think her name in this episode is Annabelle.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Anyway, she's Ainsley, and she'll always be Ainsley from the West Wing. But yes, she's already got plans because she's going out with Ombre.
Yeah, she is.
And that just cuts Joey real deep.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. He turns... As Annabelle and Ombre leave, an old guy behind the counter is kind of giving Joey a bit of a, "Ooh, mate, that was brutal" look. To which Joey says, "Hey, not the first time I've lost a girl to a cowboy spraying cologne." Very specific.
Yeah. And then another man walks past and he's like, "Bichon for men? Bichon for men!
Oh,
Bichon for men!"
Now, this is when he turns full window wiper, just chases him down.
I wonder if window wipers are a thing in every city. Or just
I don't know. Do we need to explain it? Like, surely it's
not
a thing. There are, like, if you go down a big intersection, like in the middle of the city here, there's people who just stand there and they try and wash windows to make you give them money. And,
oh my God, stop. Some of them are homeless.
None of them are homeless. They pretend to be homeless. They're the worst.
Calm down.
No, sorry.
Jesus.
Window wipers are the absolute worst. I hate every single one of them. You say no and they start wiping anyway. They take advantage of particularly people who look like they won't fight back. Like women. I see all the time women trying to shake their heads and wave their hands no, and they just start wiping their windows anyway.
Okay. Well, having been one of those women, I'm not angry quite as much about it as you are. Calm down. I'm just saying no because I don't have any cash. No one carries cash anymore.
Yeah.
What is wrong with you?
What's wrong with them?
Oh my God. No one chooses to be a window wiper for fun.
I don't know. I think these guys do.
I assure you they don't. So then we're up at the apartment and Carol is freaking out about leaving Ben with Ross for the weekend.
Is it a whole weekend?
Oh, I don't actually know. But it's an overnight, it seems.
Yeah.
And, it seems like maybe this is the first time that she's left him overnight. And understandably, she's a little anxious.
Yeah.
I remember that. I freaked out the first time I had to have a haircut. Now, I couldn't throw my kids at any babysitter faster. But anyway, she's like, this is this toy and this is this comforter and blah, 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 blah. And Ross is like, "Relax, Carol. We've done this before. It's like we're father and son."
Yeah.
And then Susan, bless her socks, is like, "Carol, he's great with him."
Yeah.
And then she's like, "Don't look so surprised. I'm a nice person." I fucking love Susan.
Oh, I love Susan. Susan, I'll tell you this. Susan is my favorite character in this show to date. I like Susan more than Phoebe.
Yeah, though that's tricky. That is tricky. We
we
get a lot
had-
more Phoebes than we do Susan.
I wish
but
we had more
Susan is
Susan.
excellent.
Yeah.
Do you like her more than Janice?
Oh, I do love Janice.
I love Susan though.
I'll have to think on that.
She's just so fucking cool.
Yeah.
I want to be Susan.
Yeah. Well, Susan made an adorable little shirt for Ben that says "My mummies love me."
Yeah,
which
and Rachel's
for some
like,
reason gets a laugh
so
from the
cute.
audience.
Yeah, yeah, of course it does. Rachel's like, "This is so gorgeous," because it is. And then Ross is like, "My mummies love me," and that gets a laugh.
Yes.
Because gay, I guess. Funny.
But the funniness is broken because the phone rings. It's very clearly Julie. Monica answers it. "Oh, hi, Ju."
Hi, Ju. Because Rachel's like, "What?"
Yeah. Firstly, piss off, Rachel.
Yes.
Like, Julie is allowed to call this number. Maybe she's looking for Ross. You don't know.
But also, Monica is allowed to be friends with her. I'm sorry, but why is everyone protecting Rachel's feelings? She needs to grow up.
Now, do you think that this joke would land today? Because I think it's fucking hilarious.
I think
when
it could
Rachel
work
is like,
today.
"Did you just say hi, Jew?"
Yeah.
And Monica goes, "Yeah, it's my friend Eddie Moskowitz. He likes it."
Reaffirms his faith. You can't say that.
Yeah.
But I think the bit works because it's not real, for one. And she's saying, like, he likes it.
It is
and also
so
because
funny.
it also works because Rachel is calling her on it. "Did you just say hi, Jew?" Like, that's not okay. Like, I could see that skit in SNL today or New Girl when it was on or something. So then we get the crux of the episode.
Yeah.
This is the scene, I think, that made history.
Why?
Oh, because it was so divisive.
No.
Yes, it was. I remember kids discussing it at school. Kids. Phoebe calls out, Ben, dinner time. And Ross is like, thank you, Aunt Phoebe. You didn't heat this up in the microwave, did you? Because it's breast milk and you can't do that. Because, breast milk has like live good bacterias in it and all this.
Yeah. You don't want that shit to curdle.
No, and you don't want it to have uneven spots either, which is why even with formula you're supposed to shake it and then heat it up a bit more. Or just not do it there and heat it up in a bottle warmer. But anyway, we're just showing how lazy parenting we were the second time around. But anyway, so she's like heated it up properly in a pot of water and she's like testing it on her wrist, sensitive part of the skin.
Yeah, and then she
she's
licks
like,
it off.
yep, it's ready, and licks it off. And the group freak the fuck out.
Even Ross, who is the one who's like, this is natural, it's fine, like it's good. Even he freaks out. Rachel says that is the juice squeezed from a person.
Yeah, like, what do you think cow's milk is, love? It's juice squeezed from a cow. And almond milk is juice squeezed from an almond.
And Phoebe retorts with, come on, it's just, it's just milk. Like, you won't even taste it? Like, not even if you...
I made a hilarious joke there about almonds squeezing out milk, and you didn't even respond.
Oh, sorry.
Almond milk is almonds and water.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Glad we established that. Sorry, continue.
And Phoebe's like, you even if you just pretend that it's cow's milk, you wouldn't drink it.
Ross is like, absolutely not.
Even if Carol's boob had a picture of a missing child on it.
Yeah, that's
a very American reference. Our milk never had missing kids on it.
I was just about to say that reference doesn't hold up today, but actually, maybe it does.
It might in the States.
So we had bottles of milk at first delivered by milkmen, which was super fun, except sometimes they'd spill the milk and you'd come home to a glass bottle smashed everywhere and milk everywhere.
Yeah.
But then they turned to cartons and they didn't get delivered anymore.
I don't know.
And now we've got the plastic jug.
Well, I was going to say, I feel like cartons has always been the rarest form of milk available in Australia. You can still get cartons of milk, but people just don't. Like, you just get the plastic jugs.
Because if you're feeding fucking kids, you need milk by the bloody,
And I mean, sure,
ton.
The plastic jugs have labels on them, but we don't do the whole missing... Maybe we don't have as many missing children here.
Yeah, we probably do, but...
I mean, American listeners, reach out. Is that still a thing? And was it ever really as much of a thing as TV would lead us to believe? Because my understanding of milk in America is that every carton has a missing child on it.
Well, we had milk in America, and I don't remember it having missing kids on it.
Yeah. Reach out to us and let us know.
Okay. But I love that Joey is also fine with it.
See, and this is the thing. This is where I feel like the cold open was a funny gag, but this feels more like Joey to me.
Yes.
Joey grew up with 7 sisters.
Yes, and they've all started having kids and whatever. Yeah. Like, of course Joey would just be like, yeah, that's breast milk, whatever.
Yeah. And I don't know, maybe the joke is just meant to be that Joey will eat or drink anything because...
Probably.
Because he's a Taurus, but...
No, because he's a pig. No, maybe at this point that's what they were doing. But yeah, Joey would just not... have an issue with it.
Yeah.
Whereas Rachel and Chandler and Ross, because he's so closed off to everything, are freaked out by it. Like, totally freaked out.
Yeah.
Anyway, it leads to funnier discussions later.
So then we get to the crux of the bizarre triangle between Monica, Rachel, and Julie.
Yeah.
Monica comes home.
There's lots of stories going on this episode.
Yeah, there really are. Monica comes home and
do you remember anything?
Yeah.
She says, hey, where is everybody? And Rachel says they all took Ben to the park.
Yes.
Sure,
yes.
Can't seem to hold his own head up, but take him to the park.
Yeah.
Okay.
Monica thanks Rachel for her jacket, and Rachel says, yeah, no worries, you can borrow it, by the way.
I love that. They're more like sisters than friends, these two. I love that.
But Rachel immediately puts her jacket on, and, Monica's keys are still in there. She gives them back to her and finds a receipt.
Yeah. And Monica's lunch by herself quality time with her cost her $53, which I guess back then is outrageous.
Oh, Jesus, I could easily spend that much
I
on
know.
food by myself. Like, Jesus.
If I was spending quality time by myself, I'd easily spend $100.
Oh, man, yeah, you don't want to know how much I would spend on dumplings on a night by myself.
I really don't. I
Yeah.
really don't. I would, if I was spending quality time with myself, I would take myself to Raku.
Oh, you would go out.
Courgette, or fuck yeah.
Yeah,
And I would
that's
get fancy food, and I would savor every morsel.
See, if I was going out, I would go to the Gold Class Cinema, and yes, I'd eat there. But honestly, I would be just as happy to get dumplings and
Would
watch
you
a
get the
horror
fish
movie at
tacos?
home.
Sorry, now we're referencing a different podcast. Anyway.
But yeah, and Rachel gets very upset when Monica finally admits that she was having lunch with Julie.
Yep, Julie, and then Rachel looks terrified and she goes, Jodie.
Yeah, I think this is pretty funny. The Friends Wikipedia page, friends.fandom, notes that this is the first time, but not the last, that Rachel will be cheated on by a Geller.
Oh my God. That's
Because
fucking funny.
That's the way this scene plays out.
Yeah, they
And
do
it's
a bit. They do an affair bit.
Oh, it's a bit, but it's
It's well
very
done.
funny when Rachel asks, did you go shopping? Like, did you go to Bloomingdale's? And
Just tell me, did you go to
crushed by it.
Bloomingdale's? Monica can't even say it out loud. And she's like, oh, I just need to not be around you right now.
Yeah. All right, what would be your
If you went
version?
shopping without me, I'd be like, excellent.
No, well,
Fucking hate
I was
shopping.
just going to ask, what would be your version of this scene? Like, obviously, I'm never going to cheat on you. But
if you went somewhere without me.
yeah, what would your version of this be?
Ooh.
Because I have been campaigning very, very hard to get a work trip to Tokyo happening.
Yeah, fuck you. If you got a fucking... No, actually, I would be pissed if you went to Tokyo without me, leaving me with the kids. I'd be so upset. But if you went to London without me and I didn't get to see the Royal Ballet, I would never forgive you.
Okay.
I would never forgive you. Sorry, that's a reference to Impractical Jokers. We watch too much TV. So then we're still at the apartment in the next scene, and Monica is trying to call Rachel's work. So this is the
Yeah.
first reference to Joanna being her boss.
No, that wasn't Joanna.
Yeah, she says Joanna.
Nah, that wasn't Goopy-Eyed Joanna. Goopy-Eyed Joanna is at a different place. I'm certain. That's not Goopy-Eyed Joanna.
Well, no, I thought it was too early, but she says Joanna.
I thought she said Joanne.
Oh, okay. Well, anyway, she has to talk to her Rachel's boss looking for Rachel, and she's like, I know I did a horrible thing.
Yeah, I don't care what Steve thinks.
Yeah, what the fuck? Rachel has now spoken to everyone she knows about how Monica betrayed
But
her.
this is bullshit. Like, what is Rachel going to say? She went shopping with her brother's girlfriend?
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure Rachel would have left that part conveniently out.
Yeah.
She seems like someone who would tell a story where she is the victim.
Yeah. So Monica takes the phone into the other room to continue the debate. Meanwhile, Carol and Susan come over to pick up Ben. And Phoebe just blurts out, I tasted some of your milk.
She doesn't blurt it out.
She
Carol
does.
says, how did we do?
Yeah.
Like, how did everyone go with the baby? And Phoebe says, I tried the breast milk, and Ross freaked out.
Do you think she's like dibber-dobbing, like responding to Carol
100%,
asking how
and
did everyone go?
I fully support Phoebe in this action. Like,
Right.
Good for you, Phoebes. It needs to be addressed. He's weird.
Yeah. Ross says it's breast milk. It's disgusting. To which Carol says, oh, so my breast milk is disgusting.
I
And
love the
Susan-
silence from the audience there. I love it. They're
silence
like,
from
"Ooh."
everyone except for Susan, who just leans back and says, well, this should be fun.
Fucking Susan, I love it. And I love where this leads.
Oh.
This is why this episode was so famous.
One of my favorite Susan moments.
It was quite ahead of its time as well, in that... Anyway, we'll get to it.
Yeah, because Ross comes back with, I just don't think that breast milk is for adults.
Yep. And Chandler says, which is funny because the packaging appeals to both adults and children. But it's true. It is true.
We love boobs.
And then Phoebe's like, Carol says, just try it. And Ross he has like a physical aversion. He has to stand up and get away from the bottle.
Yeah.
He's such a child.
Carol says, I've tried it. And Phoebe says, yeah, it doesn't taste bad. Joey comes in with, it tastes kind of sweet. It's like, and then this is where we get to the moment where Susan chimes in with like cantaloupe juice.
Oh, can I just stop you right there? cantaloupes are rock melons, and they're fucking disgusting. No.
I love a rock melon.
Ew. And, but this leads to Ross being like, oh, you've tried it. And Susan looks him dead in the eye and she goes, yes. Well, no, wait. Susan goes, yeah. And like looks at him. Yeah. And then he goes, oh, you've tried it. You've tried it. Like straight from the source.
Yeah, right from the tap.
Yeah. And she goes, you can keep saying it, but it still will be true. I love Susan so much. And this is where I think sometimes Friends was ahead of its time.
Yeah.
So we are literally talking about lesbians in bed together right now. Well, not even in bed. They can be anywhere, but
well,
you know,
and
when they're being intimate.
And doing something like, I guess, kind of taboo, like drinking boob milk.
Yeah, yeah. And it was on primetime television.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes it has its good moments. It really does.
Yeah. But just the knowledge that Susan has tried it is enough to get Ross. He rolls his sleeve up.
He's such a fucking baby about it.
Even then, he's being a baby. Just fucking swig it from the bottle. But instead,
which is ironic because a baby would not reject this.
Yeah, but he rolls his sleeves up and he sprinkles it on his.
No. He says, "Get me the bottle."
Yeah.
And Chandler has to get him the bottle. And then he puts it on his wrist and he's like, get me the towel.
Yeah,
and he doesn't even try to lick it. He just wipes it right off and heads for the bedroom, sulking.
What a waste.
I know.
Any breastfeeding mother would be furious about that.
Oh, I'd be so fucking angry. Do you know how much that cost to make?
Yeah.
It cost me everything. But I love Susan's look of satisfaction at the end. I fucking love this episode. Susan at her best.
Yeah. So then we're at the guy's apartment. First scene over there this episode. Chandler is wiping the bench, I guess.
Well, he's the only one that cleans.
Well, that's true.
I assume.
Joey comes in head to toe in cowboy gear.
But like white, shiny cowboy gear?
Well, because he's the good guy, you see.
That's
the spaghetti western. Your good guys wear white, your bad guys wear black. That's,
That's racist.
Well, look, it is. I'm not saying it's not. But that's how spaghetti westerns roll.
Why are you calling it a spaghetti western?
Because that's what it is. It's a spaghetti western.
Why?
Because that's what they're called.
Why?
Because they originated in Italy.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Sergio Leone.
Oh, okay, so you do know. All right.
More than a pretty face.
I'll let this one slide.
But that's the whole thing. The good guys wear white suits. The bad guys wear black suits. Or usually just hats. You got your black hat cowboy.
Yeah, but we get another bit.
Yeah.
We're playing out a cowboy bit now.
Yeah, that's right.
I guess.
Joey sits down, and because Chandler's been wiping the bench, he flings the towel over his shoulder like, he's a barman.
Yep.
Joey asks for a juice.
A juice box.
Yes.
Americans say juice box.
Yeah. Chandler...
We call them poppers.
Squirts it into the glass and slides it across the bar at him. Joey's really upset. They've put him on ombre.
Yep. Why would this fucking matter? As Chandler points out. But it's not like you were... he wouldn't get commissions on Bichon for Men, would he?
I think you do. 100%, I bet you do.
Oh.
Yeah.
But you're just the spray guy. You're not putting it through at the till.
Well, no, but you've influenced that purchase.
You know what those people were? The original influencers. They really were the worst.
God. Yes, I told you they're the worst. Window wipers are influencers.
No.
That's what you're saying.
Oh my God, that's not what I'm saying. Anyway, so then the bit plays out a bit more. Joey's like, I want to be the best. And he slides the juice box back and he gets another refill. And then Chandler slides it back to him and he's like, I say you go out there and you show that you're the best something of
perfume salesman west of the lingerie.
West of the lingerie, that's right. It's all very humorous.
Yeah, it is humorous. I like this scene.
I would say this is the C storyline of this episode.
Oh yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
What would you say is the A and the B though?
I would say the A is actually Monica and Julie, and then the B is the breast milk.
That gives me the shits.
Yeah. Because then we continue the A storyline. Monica is visiting Rachel at work. So can I just point out, of course it wasn't Joanna. Are you completely had you already forgotten that Rachel is just working at the coffee shop?
Yes, I know. It doesn't make any sense. It's just weird that later her boss is Joanna.
Yeah.
This is the problem when you know friends too well.
Yeah.
Like, things don't just wash over you.
Yeah. So Monica's trying to talk to Rachel. Rachel says, well, I'm not listening to you.
And new season, we are out the front. We are in the street.
Yes, because we have that set piece now.
Yep, we do. And she's like, I'm just trying to talk to you. And she's like, oh, I'm sorry. Did my back hurt your knife? What? Grow up.
I know.
Oh my
I
God.
know. She says it's bad enough that Julie stole the man that I'm possibly meant to be with, but now it's like she's stealing you too.
You can never. Then we just get some hysterical crying, and Phoebe wants to be involved.
Yes.
Just because she's there and
I know
she
I'm
needs
not
a hug.
involved in this, but I love you guys too.
And then she's like, oh, I needed that. I love Phoebes. She's getting hers where it's needed. But finally, Monica talks some sense into Rachel.
Yes, finally.
She's just a girl who met a guy and they're going out.
Yeah, she didn't do anything wrong.
Which is true, Rachel.
Oh, I mean, nobody did anything wrong. Ross didn't do anything wrong.
Why do you hate Julie then?
I just don't like her. It's got nothing to do with Rachel. I just don't like her.
Why?
I just think she's dull.
You're a racist.
No, it has nothing to do with her race. I just think she's dull.
She's not dull at all.
She's very dull.
Oh, you're dull.
I know. But I don't expect people to watch me on television.
Anyway.
I do expect them to listen to me for 3 to 4 hours a week.
It's desperate. So anyway, Monica's like, I think if you really tried to get to know her, you would actually like her. Can you do that for me? And then we get more hysterical crying because she's like, I'd do anything for you. And they go to hug again. I love Phoebe. Wait. She needs to get in on that hug.
So then we conclude the C storyline. Joey and Ombre are waiting for the store to open, getting their little perfume bottles ready. I have a question.
Do I think this scene goes on too long? Yes.
Well, yeah. But I understood that Joey was now dressing like this because he was on Ombre, and that the Ombre guy had been moved to a different perfume, but he's still dressing like a cowboy?
No. I think Joey said, like, they're really pushing that stuff.
So they're both on Ombre?
They're both on Ombre. He doesn't want to compete with him on what he's doing well, I guess.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because they're really, I don't know, pushing that perfume or something. And the store manager opens the store. So I guess they're on ground level. maybe not. I don't know. But he opens the store and some, which white guy walks in probably to buy a silk handkerchief or a watch or some shit. Or
he's probably
bracelet for his
probably
wife.
going to buy like a bucket and a windscreen wiper to go and stand out on the street.
You're a dickhead.
Because those guys are absolutely not homeless.
You are. Stop it. Oh my God. What is wrong with you? I feel like I don't even know you when you talk like that.
But we do get a bit of a funny kind of, good, the bad and the ugly kind of thing where as the guy is walking in, they're both staring each other down, getting ready to pounce first and spray their perfume.
We've got the cowboy music going. And they were both going to do the wrong thing, but Joey's bottle doesn't work for some reason.
Yes.
And black ombre man sprays the guy in the eyes.
Yeah.
And he's like, you stupid idiot, I'm going to sue. I'm going to sue every one of you. How good was that New Yorker accent?
That was okay.
I thought it was pretty good. And then we get Todd's real voice.
Yes.
He's not doing the Batman anymore.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm such a doofus. He sounds like David Lynch. He's like, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm such a doofus.
I don't know what David Lynch sounds like, but sure.
Oh, my God. Okay.
And then Ainsley comes back and she's like, oh, my God, what happened? And Joey's like, these new kids, they never last. Sooner or later, they stop lasting. And then he gets to take her out for a cup of coffee. Aren't they both working?
Yeah.
And the store manager and Ombre Man has left, and now no one's
literally just opened.
Yeah, and no one's minding the store now. Anyway, no wonder he gets fired from jobs all the time.
So then we end the episode by wrapping up the A storyline.
I guess.
Rachel is chatting to Julie. They're meeting together at the coffee shop. This is Rachel's worst moment to date.
For sure.
She is so
insufferable
awful here because Julie says, I'm kind of intimidated by you, which Rachel loves. It's the one time in this scene that she smiles and is gleeful about it. But Julie says, Ross, he really loves you, and I just really wanted you to like me, and I just kind of got the feeling that you don't. It's probably just me being paranoid.
And then Rachel confirms it.
Oh my God. And doesn't even give her a reason why. She just says,
like, it was really hard for me seeing you.
You're not paranoid.
It was really hard seeing you guys together for a variety of reasons.
Which I'm not going to bore you with now.
Okay, great. Thanks.
So
Thanks for leaving me to
then?
imagine the worst.
Is it because you don't like Asians, Rachel?
Yeah.
Like, why is it?
Julie has suffered enough. Can we not make her also think you're playing the race card?
Yeah.
Oh my God, she's just the fucking worst.
Yeah.
And then, like Julie's like, oh, I'd love if we could see a movie, together. And she's like, oh, sure, that'd be nice. And Julie's got to go. And then Rachel's like, what a manipulative bitch.
Yep.
So much B word for prime time.
Yep.
Look,
and that's...
I am not a prude. I do not care. I swear in front of my kids all the time. But do we have to show women being the absolute worst and calling each other bitches? Kids were watching this. I was watching this. Yeah. This is what I grew up with. And women actually don't want to treat each other that way at all. Anyway, thank you for coming to my TED Talk. You can end the episode right there.
Well, I'm not going to end it there because then we get the tag, which wraps up the B storyline of the breast milk.
Well, it started and finished with this, so I would like to think it's actually the A storyline. I don't want to give Rachel the satisfaction of her being the A storyline. Gives me the shits.
So the guys are sitting around the table. They're just staring at the bottle of milk. Finally, Ross just grabs it, slugs it down, really sucking on that bottle teat like a baby. It's kind of disgusting to watch.
I never noticed that before.
Oh, haven't you?
I guess it's like playing part into the part.
The way he it makes me feel ill. The way he
Okay, how else are you supposed to suck on one of those things?
Look, just pour it into a glass.
Oh, okay, yeah. But the fact that he has to have it with Oreos gives me the shits. Firstly, that's a bottle that Ben isn't getting. It's contaminated now. You're not supposed to do that.
I think the joke is milk and cookies.
Oh, really? Thanks for mansplaining that to me. Jesus Christ, I get the fucking joke. No, it gives me the shits. That's a bottle Ben's not going to get now. And then he had to chase it down with some fucking biscuits. Oh my God. If you ever spilt one drop of the breast milk, I was always like, don't do it! Because it just costs you so much to make. It's hard work and nobody appreciates it. And Carol's hard work is being chased.
Susan
appreciates it. Bow, chicka, wow. Anyway, they're a beautiful couple. I think that's done. Should we do lightning rounds?
Well, firstly, how are you scoring this
episode? I love this episode. This one's a 9 out of 10 for me.
Yeah,
it's one of my faves.
Yeah,
because
I really
even though
enjoyed
I hate
all
Rachel,
3 stories.
I love to talk about hating Rachel. So, as you know.
Yeah, I'm also
and I love to talk about hating Ross, and he's also a child in this episode.
All right, well, let's do a lightning round. Are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready. I'm going to go first.
Okay.
After accidentally inviting Janice to their wedding, how do Monica and Chandler eventually get her out of their hair? Hair is metaphorical.
I think I know what it is, but I'm worried that I'm confusing it with when she almost moves in next door. But maybe they use the same excuse. Is it that they tell her that Chandler is still in love with her?
Yes.
Yes.
We watched that one recently.
All right. This one's crazy easy. When you're not fine, what do you put at the end of fine?
A D. I'm fined.
I'm fined.
We use that all the time when we're sick.
Yeah.
As well as I'll miss you the most, Scarecrow, because we're dying. What does Ross refuse to do soon after moving into ugly naked guy's apartment, which makes the rest of the building hate?
Yeah, he won't donate to the groundskeeper's farewell.
I'm going to need an amount.
$20.
Okay, the amount's not on here, but I am infuriated.
It's actually it's $100, isn't it? Yes.
But to me, he's just man.
Yeah, he's
it's the principal.
Handyman. All right. What is Joey diagnosed with at the hospital while Phoebe is in labor?
Oh, kidney stones.
Kidney stones.
Sorry, for a while there, I was thinking of a Dr. Drake Ramore episode until you said Phoebe's in labor. Kidney stones.
Wow, we are crushing the lightning rounds this season.
I am.
Oh.
Crushing it.
All right. Well, next week we are getting to one of your all-time favorite episodes, News. The one where Heckles dies.
Oh, I fucking hate that episode. Oh my God.
But it'll be fun to talk about.
I was so excited for a second when you were like, one of your favorites. Oh my God. I hate that episode.
Nah, you love it.
Nah. Anyway.
All right. Thank you, dear listeners, for joining us. We hope that you're enjoying our continuing journey through Friends now that we're in season 2.
And now we've got to do the desperate bit.
Share it with your friends.
Desperate.
Give us a rating on Spotify or iTunes. Leave us a 5-star
As long
review.
as it's
We love
5
it.
star.
Leave us a review. We love reading reviews. You can email us at pottymouthradio@gmail.com. Go join the Facebook listener community, the Pottymouth Radio listener community on Facebook, where there's always lots of fun stuff happening, and you can see all the other shows I'm on, because I do insist that people listen to me 3 hours a week. And we'll catch you next week.
Desperate. Oh, you've tasted it.